back to BasSTriX, getting ready for the weekend on blast-radio.co.uk.
I think they're
I'm not sure. I just came here for some milk.
Ask somebody else.
This year's generation are going to be even worse off.
I'm 16 and I just got hit with a bat. Police are handling it, it's just completely...
Very much against it.
It's like university's only for the upper class.
But I think the fees are just ridiculous.
I think it's a terrible idea.
It's going to affect everyone's education for the worse.
They had free education, why shouldn't we?
Back to BasSTriX.
Yes, I'm Ricky G and welcome back to BasSTriX podcast. I'm here joined in the studio with Dave and we're going to be having a chat to him a little bit later on. So far, you probably already guessed that it's all about the two tuition fees raising, but this is one really angry guy that I'm really quite astonished that I found. You might want to put your hands over your ears for this one, guys.
I think it's complete bollocks. I think they should just keep it all free. Look how many f***ing people there are. Like, mate, wasn't it free? It should be free.
Back to BasSTriX.
The geezer I spoke to then was actually very annoyed, but he seems to be having quite a lot of fun actually. He was actually dancing on a statue just outside of the treasury. Managed to get a few words with him. We're going to have more like that a bit later on. But for now, Dave, what do you think about the whole entire, now it's been raised, how do you think it's going to affect most people in the future?
Well, I think the people that are at uni now are counting their blessings, that they've obviously got there at the right time, and I'm not exactly sure how the system will work, but I'm guessing that 2012 new students are obviously getting this increase, and maybe the current ones are as well. But it's going to be terrible because after all these government campaigns going, yeah, we need more working class people from different backgrounds at uni, and all like joining in to make the world a better place. Now, by virtue of what they're doing, they're making people, you know, it becoming worse than it was before, because in the 70s, like, people got paid to go to uni for free, you know, people got their grants and they went to uni, whereas now it is only going to be really posh people, so the unis aren't going to be, I don't think, a great place to be for education for all.
Do you think in some way that they're actually condemning the poorer people of the country to a worse lifestyle?
Well, yeah, definitely, not just because of what they're doing now, but because it's just such a hypocritical statement by the last government. And obviously, although this government wasn't the last government, both governments would secretly have done the same and pushed for this. So they're going, oh, we've got so many initiative grants are getting better, we've got projects going on more, you know, like deprived communities and all that, and we're trying to get people to go to college and then go to uni. And now you're thinking this is actually like really taking the mick, because you're just going to start, and then you might have had this dream now thinking that these grants are going to come in like your brothers and sisters had, and now it's just going to be 9,000 a year, and nobody who wants to do uni as, you know, just a way of getting a better qualification will be doing it. The only people who will do it are people with a lot of money.
On a future note though, I mean, this year we had like a record amount of like, applicants coming into university. There was like more than universities could handle by a good 50%. Wouldn't this decrease the amount of people going there and give only the best people the best chances?
Well, yeah, a lot of these, like, you know, old polytechnic unis are going to close down, because like when I went, I knew that it was quite busy, like, you know, in my first year, but this university's got a lot more popular, and a lot of them have, you know, in general, because there's like the recession, there's less jobs going around, people think that they can, like, you know, train themselves up, get a degree and be better for the jobs that they're looking for in the long run, and stand more of a chance of being successful.
So on that note, if they want more people to be working class, I mean, what are they going to do for them? Because at the moment there's still no jobs for them. So they won't be at uni, they won't be working, they'll just be taking money off the tax.
Well, some of the working class, like any class of society, don't want to go to uni and do as much education as they can before they can take some kind of job. But the thing is, I think that uni's going to become more centred on those people that just have the money to go to uni, like you used to hear from the old traditional red brick students and their families that have gone on from generations. Uni is something that you do, and it won't be something that you question, or will I get a job, you know, studying philosophy or English literature. They're not directly related to jobs, but people enjoy doing them. So I think universities are just going to be very wealthy people that maybe aren't even that clever, some of them, but because there's less competition, they'll get to go there, they'll study whatever they want that won't really affect the world in that much. And a lot of the practical courses and universities that take students that are more interested in a qualification directly related to work, these courses are going to disappear, because people will just try and break the ladder of work to begin with.
You know, on the matter of work in hand, if there's less people actually going to uni, surely wouldn't there be less specialists to fit the job? quotas, surely.
Well, the government will have to come up with a backfire plan. That's what government's for. They're supposed to look after us, so when they know they've cocked something up, whether they want to admit it or not, which they won't normally, this will be the point that they then start telling you about new things that they've introduced, because basically this country's just become a meltdown of people that are just doing what they were doing 40 years ago, not going to university, because in those days it was for clever people, and because obviously there was enough money to employ them all. No, sorry, there was enough money to admit them under the government grants and to let them go to university, but they know now that this will be the reverse, so the government will have to start either creating more jobs, or like they'll have to start making new initiatives that people can do for free or for very little money.
Yeah, but that's pretty much going on the wrong scale of things. One is keep it so people are still going to uni and work on the jobs.
Because they pushed it so far, like, I can't even comprehend the fact that £9,000 would be the amount of money that I'd have spent to do this entire degree. Like,
I mean, that is a lot of money.
You know, and this is 1 year. If you're talking £27,000, that's more than most people can afford to spend on a car. That's what houses used to cost. This sort of money is what people invest in some long lifetime thing. Like a uni degree stays with you, and it's a qualification. But what does it mean in the end? You're not always better off at finding a job. Sometimes it's just the luck that you get anyway. And if you're a college student and you work your way up, you might end up getting better salary than someone who's gone to uni. So there's no real answer to that, I don't think.
What about the people who are actually currently studying at university? Do you think this will affect them doing their masters and PhDs?
I think it may do. I'm not actually sure. I haven't read up totally on when the fee cap, who it will affect from existing students. Obviously anybody new from 2012 will be paying this, regardless of what they're studying, but I think this will affect eventually. I don't think they'll be able to afford to keep the people that have graduated on the lower fee and keep them paying the lower fee for their masters and their PhD. So I think the answer is no.
Yes, Dave, thank you very much for that. That was fantastic, to be honest, man. Next up, we'll be speaking to some fine-ass chick who I met at a protest.
Back to BasSTriX.
I think it's ridiculous. Like, for example, a load of my friends wanted to do a gap year, and now they can't because they're not going to be able to afford to go to university if the fees raise next year. And I just think that's a complete waste of their opportunity. Also, why is it that people without money can't go to university? It should be more about who's going to do well out of university. And what else? Yeah, it just makes you so angry. Oh, it's just ridiculous. There's all of these people want to go out and be peaceful. They just want to leave. Like, they're scared of when the result goes and riots start or whatever.
Thank you for listening and tuning in. I've been Ricky G, and this has been Back to BasSTriX podcast. Tune in next week.
Back to BasSTriX.